away in their shame, is Jesus gloating at them? Is Jesus in their face? He doesn't even look at them. He gives them grace. Michael Card, in his commentary, put it this way. He says, it was not the content that mattered, but why he did it. Everybody's wondering, what did that allowed the angry mob first to cool down, then to hear his word, and finally to think about it, be convicted by it, and respond or not to it. He says, Jesus' action created a frame of silence, the kind of silence in which God speaks to the heart. He gave them space to know their own self-righteousness, their own pride, their own sin. You guys, this is why we live in such a noisy world. People don't want to stop long enough to be convicted, to really ask what's going on, to really ask what's wrong with us and what's wrong with what's going on around us. To give God's word the opportunity to have our sin exposed and find the freedom that we have in him. And then in verse 9 it says, one by one they walked away. And so we see Jesus' grace and gentleness. It's in his grace and gentleness that our pride, that our self-righteousness, that it all gets exposed. It brings us freedom from I just call it the perfect myth. How you doing? I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm all fine. I'm always good. I'm going to project it. Why? We don't have to pretend anymore. It gives us freedom from the comparison and the self-righteousness that is just permeating the world that we live in. We need to let Jesus, his gentleness and grace, expose us. And so we also, though, see Jesus' gentleness and grace towards the accused, towards the one that was guilty, the one that was in sin. He never says she didn't sin, but he treats her with grace and gentleness. It says in verse 10, Jesus stood up and said to her, woman. I love that. So Jesus is on the ground and and then what does he do? He stands up